Get out of here. Okay. All right. Well, welcome, everybody. We acknowledge the land upon which we work and live, the First Nations and their nations, and recognize their connection to the land, water, and community. We continue to learn, listen, and grow together. Saying that, welcome. Call the meeting to order and approve of the agenda, please.
Be it hereby resolved that the agenda for the March 4th, 2026 regular meeting of council be adopted as printed and circulated.
Can I get a mover and a seconder, please? Moved by Councillor Young, second by Councillor Barnes. All in favor? And opposed, if any, and that's carried. Any disclosure of pecuniary interest? Not seeing any. And minutes from February 18th.
Be it hereby resolved that the minutes of the February 18th, 2026 regular meetings of council be adopted as printed and circulated.
Can I get a mover and seconder, please? Moved by Councillor Demers, second by Councillor Banbury. Any comments? All in favor? Opposed, if any, and that's carried. Any business arising from the minutes? Not seeing any. We have no public meetings today. We have no delegations today, and we have correspondence. Okay, go ahead.
Be it hereby resolved that the Township of Blandford-Blenheim supports Zora Township Council's resolution requesting that Oxford County consider the inclusion of the small-scale value-added business subclass in the 2026 tax ratios policy in order to support on-farm processing, agricultural diversification, and rural economic development across Oxford County.
Okay, can I get a mover and a seconder, please? Moved by Councillor Demers, second by Councillor Young. Any comments on that or questions? Go ahead, Councillor Demers.
Just a comment. I'd asked this to be included in correspondence this week. It was introduced by our friends at Zora Township. Really, it's really important. It's a classification that was introduced by the province, and it'll allow, as it says, small-scale evaluated businesses a little bit of a tax break, and it just property tax break with a new tax ratio. Just tries to encourage a little bit more on-farm diversification and opportunities for ag businesses in Oxford County. So yeah, I just thought it was really important to support the introduction, and hopefully Oxford County will agree. I don't think it's been on their agenda yet.
No, I didn't see it, but was it a tax ratio that's more than farming? Is that what they're proposing? Like, I think farming is 0.21 something. Is it?
I think I'd have to refer to their resolution, but I believe it's a portion up to a certain amount gets a break.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect, yeah. Okay, anything else from council? Did I get a moment?
All those in favor?
Yes, I wanted to make sure I got it.
Yep.
All in favor? And opposed, if any, and that's carried. Thank you. That's why you're here. Keep me in line. Okay, we have nothing under general and staff reports. Jim Borton, our Director of Public Works. Yeah. Welcome, Jim.
Afternoon, Council.
Can you, yeah, I don't think, no, maybe not. There we are. Now they're on.
Now we're on.
Might not have showed up on our video, but there wasn't anything major there. Okay, go ahead, Jim.
So my first report this afternoon is Bridge 23 rehabilitation. So this was identified in our 2021 and 2023 OSM reports. These are done every 2 years as mandated by the province in accordance with the Ontario Structural Inspection Manual. If you remember the Bridge 38, we did the repairs last year. I went to tender in 2024. We didn't do a deck analysis on that bridge, and the cost of the repair came in much higher than what was budgeted. So we decided that the year before construction we would do a deck analysis, which was done for Bridge 23 in last year, 2025. The estimated cost and budget was $750,000. The tender, we received 9 tenders back, all from reputable bridge companies. K-Smart's recommendation is attached, and you'll see that the price that we got is very, very good, $453,766.81. Now, there will be some engineering costs in that on top of it, but we are looking to save probably $150,000 to $200,000 under budget on this item. So we're very pleased with being able to get the tender out early in the year, as well as the response that we got for it. So we are recommending to move forward with this construction with Vanderbeek Construction.
Perfect. Any questions on that at all? Councillor Demers?
Just a quick question about Vandenberg. Have we had any work done by them before? It doesn't seem familiar to me.
It was 2018 the last time they did some work for us. They actually did the box culvert on Blenheim Road just north of this bridge.
Okay. That's great. Good. And great response.
Yeah.
Things are becoming, I guess, a little bit more competitive.
Yes, there
Right.
doesn't seem to be as much work out there right now, so we're getting some good prices. So I've been pushing them to hurry up on Bridge 24 as well.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, absolutely. Anything else from council? Councillor Bambury?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, it's amazing the range of bids, eh?
Yeah,
Yeah, it is.
Not quite double, but I guess some companies aren't looking for a lot of wood.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Okay, anything else from council? Oh, go ahead.
Be it hereby resolved that report PW 2603 be received as information, and further, that council accepts the tender bid submitted by Vandenberg Construction, Inc. of Thorndale for the amount of $453,766,000.81 plus HST.
Can I get a mover and a second, please? Moved by Councillor Barnes, second by Councillor Banbury. Any comments? All in favor? Opposed, if any? And that's carried. Thank you. And now your monthly report.
Great, so Phase 4 Princeton, we've got all set up with Cassidy once the weather breaks to move in. We are currently working on the tender for Phase 5. We have all the asphalt work, concrete work and stuff like that. We're just working with the county, to get their specs for the pedestrian cross drain. So we can make sure that that gets all done in the same job, so we're not paving it and they're coming and cutting it. So once that is done, that'll go out for tender. Bridge 24, we're just waiting for the final comments back from the Ministry of the Environment, so we can get that all filed, and then we can get that tender out for that bridge. And then, as we previously spoke about, Bridge 23. This month, in February, we met in Zora for our shared services. We had OPP Inspector Heimers join us for the meeting. Typically, we meet with him around the same time of year to discuss half-load season, on kind of what we can expect in support from the OPP, what they want for us, stuff like that. So they have a brand-new officer that is trained on it. They were just looking to get their scales back when we had the meeting. We've sent them our mapping and kind of our hot spots for vehicles to look at. The council will also like to know that ours goes on February 15, the same as Zora Township. As you will see by the weather, if you remember, we did have a bit of a warm-up that week, so it was good that we did have it on. I know a lot of the other municipalities are looking to change their dates because it seems to be we're getting that mid-February warm-up, and it's sure nice to have it on and not have to worry about the heavy trucks going across the roads. In February, the guys are still busy. As I said, lots of winter maintenance still happening. It's been a very busy year for staff. We did have a bit of a break, which was nice. We were able to get some maintenance done on our machines, some snow picked up from the downtowns, and some cul-de-sacs in Plattsville. Unfortunately, with this warmer weather also brings pothole season. So we've been working with Kevin to get some posts out there to allow residents kind of, this is what we're doing. yes, we're aware of it. We've had some good responses, even some positive responses back when they see what's been happening. So that's great that we have that resource here now. Any other questions? I'd be happy to answer them.
Any questions on the report at all? Councillor Young.
Just to follow up about the potholes, is there a way for people to report any potholes? Like, should they just be contacting the office, or?
Yep, so if they call into the office, one of the ladies in the front will certainly take the address down
Okay.
of where it is.
Perfect.
Yep.
Thank you.
Anything else from council? I've had lots of phone calls on them. Okay, nothing else? Go ahead.
Be it hereby resolved that report PW 2604 be received as information.
Okay, can I get a mover and a seconder, please? Moved by Councillor Demers, second by Councillor Young. Any comments? Just on the gravel, I've had a couple actually today saying that thank you, because I know there was some, I had quite a few calls, and thank you to Kevin for getting that information out there. I think it really did help for a lot of people. I had a few farmers that were asking about it, and I said, it's no different than your field. You're not plowing your fields now because it's too hard. You can't. Our roads are no different with the grading. So I imagine they'll probably get nothing but better over the next week when it gets up to plus 15 and rain. I'm sure the roads will be very good and the complaints will disappear. Okay, all in favor? And opposed, if any, and that's carried. Thank you very much, Jim.
Thank you.
Okay, next is Trevor, our Manager of Community Services. Welcome, Trevor.
Afternoon. First report is our Community Services monthly report. From our operational and point of view, we got all the wreaths down in the communities in February. Staff have met with the Drumble Beautification Committee to review potential locations for the benches and adding some accessibility pods beside the benches. Township staff met with the 175 committee too for Plattsville's 175th anniversary. Still in the planning stages. That's June 20th celebration in the park. We're just meeting with them to discuss the project and how it's all going to lay out in the park. Been working on a few capital projects since the budget has passed. This includes Drumbo splash pad water improvements, trying to get that, working with contractors to figure that all out in the county, and a few other projects in there that we're looking at is the Bright Park Playground Accessible Project. And then community engagement, we've been contacted with the two groups that are going to do music in the park, and we're going to do a partnership agreement underneath council's direction for that to happen this summer. We're going to see some free skates over March break, and we'll get staff to post those on social media as well.
Okay, any comments on the report at all? Questions? Sorry, any questions on the report at all? No, not saying any.
Be it hereby resolved that report CS 2604 be received as information.
Can I get a mover and a seconder, please? Moved by Councillor Banbury, second by Councillor Demers. Any comments? All in favor? Opposed, if any, and that's carried. Thank you, Trevor. And your next report.
Next report is the EASE grant report, which is enhancing access to spaces for everyone program. Staff applied back in August for this grant program. It was for funding for the upgrade the park washrooms for accessibility. We asked for $60,000. We got $57,000 for this project. We're going to move forward with it. Just letting council know that this is we applied for it back in August, got notified early January that we got the funding, and now we're told that we can pass it on, and we're going to start working on the tender process for this project, and hopefully we'll have everything done by September for this project. That's kind of the deadlines. So EASE grant, it's an accessible grant that we could apply for. At the time we applied for upgrading our public washrooms in our park. So yeah.
Okay, anything on that at all? Any questions? Nope. Okay, go ahead. Pretty easy group.
Be it hereby resolved that report CS 2605 be received as information, and that council formally acknowledge the approval of up to $57,935.15 in funding through the Province of Ontario's Enhancing Access to Spaces for Everyone grant to support accessible washroom retrofits in Plattsville, Drumbo, and Princeton parks. And further, that staff be authorized to proceed with project implementation in accordance with the grant guidelines, the Township Multi-Year Accessibility Plan, and applicable provincial legislation, including AODA and approved budget.
Okay, can I get a mover and a seconder, please? Moved by Councillor Barnes, second by Councillor Young. Any comments at all on that? Councillor Manbury.
If that turns out not to be enough, we supplement the remainder. And conversely to that, what if it goes the other way, that, you know, we don't spend quite all that money? What happens to the rest of the money? Does it,
I'll find it.
we don't get it, or?
We did get grants for we did get quotes for the project before the grant, and that's roughly, will be roughly where we're at. We do have $14,000 from 2025 to put partnered with this project, so it's about a $70,000 project. So I'm thinking if for the scope of the project, the quotes came in around $68,000. So yeah, for this project. So hoping that we can do everything in that we have to do.
Good, thanks.
Anybody else on council? Good news stories, always good when we seem to be doing very well at that, and I think there's a, thank you, Trevor, for getting these grants. You seem to have a pretty good success rate at getting them anyway, so thank you. Okay, can I have we've already done that, all in favor? And opposed if any, and that's carried. Okay, and your last report.
Yes, last report is live barn streaming system in the Plattsville Arena. Our local minor hockey group has come to us and would like to add live barn. Live barn's a streaming system that allows people to watch games when they're not at the arena. In this day and age, people have shift work and working from everywhere, so they can watch hockey games in the arena. We would like to be the host for this in this agreement. Plattsville Minor Hockey would be the one that would be in charge of it. They would make sure that it's on when it's supposed to be on and off when it's supposed to be off. We're going to review the agreement. It will just be on for the minor hockey games. We will review the agreement that minor hockey will have with Live Barn to make sure it's under everything we're supposed to do, and we will also put in our rental agreement that there is a Live Barn at the arena for groups. But minor hockey will be the main person involved with it, and we will be the host. So they'll just come in. It's financially not going to cost us anything to do this, and lots of other municipalities have had the Live Barn put into their arena. So, or there's Live Barn and there's some other ones out there, but Live Barn is popular as well. So.
Okay, any questions on that at all? Councillor Demers.
Will minor hockey be charging teams
Live
stream?
Barn, you have to pay a subscription to Live Barn.
So, and minor hockey will pay the prescription, or will
No,
teams?
the person has to subscribe to the Live Barn to get it to
Gotcha.
their phone. So they'd have to.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, yes,
Gotcha. So,
yes.
so minor hockey isn't charging a fee to any of the teams?
No, minor
that
hockey
have
won't.
their event
No.
streamed?
No,
Okay.
so if you want to stream your your son or daughter's hockey game, you can go on there and pay a Live Barn fee,
Okay.
and they provide all the equipment in the arena too.
Okay. So that's how it's funded?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Yep.
Anything else from council? No? Okay, go ahead.
Be it hereby resolved that report CS 2606 be received as information, and further, that council approve the Township of Blandford-Blenheim acting as the host venue for Live Barn streaming system at the Plattsville Memorial Community Arena, while Plattsville Minor Hockey enters into an agreement with Live Barn Incorporated, and further, that township staff be authorized to review the agreement for operational terms and cancellation provisions prior to installation proceeding at the facility, and update rental agreements accordingly.
Okay, can I get a mover and a seconder, please? Moved by Councillor Banbury, second by Councillor Young. Any comments? Just a couple. I think this is absolutely fantastic. I think of when all the times I worked afternoons and missed my kids' games because I had to work. I might have been able to watch some of it when I was at work. I'm pretty sure I would have figured out a way to do that, but I think it's a absolutely great thing to have. I've seen actually online, I've seen a few people talking about it. Somebody was down south somewhere and they were watching their grandkids. I don't know if it was live barn, but they were watching their grandkids play hockey. I think it's a great thing moving forward, so thank you very much for that. Okay, anything else? All in favor? Opposed, if any, and that's carried. Thank you, Trevor. Just one comment too, just happened to think of it now. Those benches that were at the park, I had heard that 5 of the 6 are sold already from the park, so that's a real good, I meant to mention that earlier, but that's a good story. That's quick. Yeah, for sure. Okay, go ahead. Next is Sarah.
Good afternoon, members of council. You have before you report DC 2603 regarding the booking policy update. Council was presented with and approved a corporate booking policy in November of 2025. This policy was presented at the same meeting as the municipal alcohol policy, which was finalized and adopted at a later meeting. As a result, we're bringing back this booking policy to remove the provision for security as well as complete minor housekeeping changes to reflect the booking practices. Proposed changes are listed in the review section of the policy on the first page. If you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them.
Any questions from council? Nope. Okay, go ahead.
Be it hereby resolved that report DC 2603 be received as information, and further that council adopts the changes to the township-wide facility booking policy as presented in report DC 2603.
Okay, can I get a mover and a seconder, please? Moved by Councillor Demers, second by Councillor Young. Any comments? All in favor? And opposed, if any, and that's carried. Okay, and we're in reports from council members. Anybody have anything? Councillor Young.
I do. I just had 2 quick information sessions that I attended recently that I thought I would share as they are relevant to, I think, the people that we're serving in our communities. The first one was a United Way conversations. They have a United Way conversation series where they do live stream webinars about other different topics within the county that people might find of interest. And this one was about the Heart Hub that was launched in late 2025. And I think there's a lot of, or it could be some misunderstanding about what that is and what it looks like. So I thought I would just share this really brief overview of what it was, and some of the services that they are providing, because I do think they're doing a lot of good work there. But it's an initiative that has 16 service providers across Oxford County that support individuals that are experiencing housing instability, addiction, recovery challenges, and mental health concerns. So I think one of the things that I've kind of heard from conversations with people is they think it's an actual place, like when you hear hub, you think it's a place you go to. But that's really not what it is. It's a centralized network that's connecting people to all the different providers in Oxford County. And so they talked a lot about how that's ensuring that there's one point of contact for people so they're getting connected to the right level of supports for what that looks like for them. And I think that's really important for people to understand that you don't have to physically go to this hub to find the service that you might require. Another key component that hasn't opened yet, but that it will have a wellness center that will offer 50 beds dedicated to voluntary treatment services, providing a safe and supportive space for recovery. So right now, they have a temporary one. I think it's 10 beds right now, but that will be expanding to 50. So that's something new to our county that we haven't been able to provide people. So I did ask in that series a question that people can come from other municipalities to access those beds, but Oxford County residents are given priority before they're offered. So if they're sitting empty, they will put them out to other places, but our residents get that priority. So that's important to know, I think. And what they did say, which I thought was really interesting, kind of alarming too, was that Oxford County experiences 2 times greater hospitalization rates for substance use compared to the provincial average. And mainly that's for alcohol substance use, and that's what they're seeing a lot of in supports needed in the, so far in the, throughout the hub. So I think it's really important that that is something that services are being provided for. And that just, they did talk a lot about how they're evolving, it's new, they're kind of learning as they're going, so as things progress or change, they're kind of evolving their services. So that is online if anybody's interested. It's on the United Way website, and it was a really good, I think it was an hour and a half, really good information about that. So that was one piece. Switching topics a little bit, I went to an information session about, from Social Planning Council Oxford, about financial empowerment program that they have. I had met the CEO, maybe, I forget what position she had, at the Safe and Well meeting in November. And so she had talked about this program. They had an information session last week. And basically this program's open to everybody throughout Oxford County, but specifically they're focusing on helping low or no income individuals or individuals with disabilities, seniors, youth, and just supporting some knowledge around finances, budgeting, tax filing, debt savings, all of those things. It's a program that they come and offer to the residents wherever they are. So I've connected her and Trevor that they can kind of hopefully incorporate that into some of the adult programs that we already have happening, that she'll come and hopefully offer that throughout the township, that anyone can come and gather that information, but it can be really helpful, I think, in helping people find some of those benefits that they may not have been aware of, or maybe they're avoiding filing their taxes, and these people will help them do that. So those are two really good information things that I just had kind of come across in the last 2 weeks that I thought might be of interest to folks.
Yeah, thank you very much. They're both very, very good projects that we have going on. The Heart Hub is it's very unique, and it's very well well used in our community. So no, it's very, very good. Anything else on reports from council members? I just have a couple. One this Saturday is the Drumble Lions are having their elimination draw on Saturday night. I think it starts from 7 roughly to 11. It's completely sold out again. Actually, I think we could have probably sold another 50 tickets easily, I would think. Unfortunately, I think it's the size of our hall is about as max we can get with 200. So it should be a good night Saturday night. I know I did mention a little bit to council beforehand. I had the place Utterly Ridiculous reached out to me. They're having it's kind of like an open house, but it's a ribbon cutting ceremony, and it's called the Tower of Goats Discovery, and it's a 28-foot goat tower. I'm not 100% sure what all involves with that, but they're having a ribbon cutting ceremony on May 2nd from 10 to 12, and I think Councillor Young, you're going to go as well as myself, and I know Councillor Demers is already there with ROEDC. So I just thought I'd bring that up. It'll be actually kind of interesting to see. So I think that's all I have. I know one other thing, I get just thinking about it. I talked to Sarah a little bit about the Drumble Lions wants to put they were looking for a crosswalk. I think they're going to put a sidewalk it's going to go in front of the cenotaph, where you walk into the cenotaph at the school. That's what we're looking for, so probably you'll see that come back in the next couple of weeks. We've got to find out whether we have to get permission from here for it or not. I'm not 100% sure we actually have to do that. So anyway, that'll be something coming forward. That's all I have. Nothing else? Nope. Okay. No unfinished business, no notice of motions, new business, closed session.
Be it hereby resolved that council does now adjourn into closed session at 4:29 p.m. regarding CAO 2608, disposal of municipal land, Station 81, Princeton. The report is closed to the public pursuant to Section 239 of the Municipal Act. Under A, proposed or pending acquisition or disposition of land by the municipality, Section 239 2C.
Okay, can I get a mover and a second, please? Moved by Councillor Young, second by Councillor Demers. All in favor? Opposed, if any, and that's carried, and we'll go into close.
Resolution about the direction to council.
Okay. Want to do that first for bylaws?
Yep.
Yep. Okay, go ahead.
Be it hereby resolved that council provide direction to staff regarding report CAO 2608.
Okay, can I get a mover and second, please? Moved by Councillor Banbury, second by Councillor Demarest. All in favor? Opposed, if any, and that's carried. And bylaws, second reading.
Be it hereby resolved that the following bylaws be read at first and second time. A, bylaw 2536-2026 being a bylaw to amend bylaw number 50683 as amended being a bylaw to appoint certain municipal officials. B, bylaw 2537-2026 being a bylaw to remove Drew Davidson as property standards enforcement officer for the Township of Blandford-Blenheim. And C, bylaw 2538-2026 being a bylaw to confirm the proceedings of council.
Okay, can I get a mover and second, please? Moved by Councillor Demarest, second by Councillor Young. Any comments? All in favor? And opposed, if any. And third reading, please.
Be it hereby resolved the following bylaws be read a third and final time. A, bylaw 2536-2026 being a bylaw to amend bylaw 50683 as amended being a bylaw to appoint certain municipal officials. B, bylaw 2537-2026 being a bylaw to remove Drew Davidson as property standards enforcement officer for the Township of Blandford-Blenheim. And C, bylaw 2538-2026 being a bylaw to confirm the proceedings of council.
Okay, can I get a mover and seconder, please? Moved by Councillor Demarest, second by Councillor Banbury. All in favor? And opposed, if any, and that's carried. Anything under other? Nope, and adjourn to our next meeting.
Whereas business before council has been completed at 4:51 PM, be it hereby resolved that council adjourn to meet again on Wednesday, March 18th, 2026 at 4 PM.
Okay, can I get a mover and second, please? Moved by Councillor Barnes, second by Councillor Demarest. All in favor? And opposed, if any, and that's carried. Thank you, council.